And we're live. Welcome, everybody, to the third March of Armies podcast. My name is Dennis. I am one of the moderators on the Squidmore Patreon Discord. And my lovely co host is.
I'm Martin, aka Matayus, and I was a mod before. No, just a simple patron.
Wow, I think when life calms back down, you might be requested to rejoin the team.
Good. We're here, as Dennis already said, with the third podcast, and we will talk today about all the finishes that we had from this lovely run that we had. And we will go through every entry and say a few words, look at the final submitted picture, and give them all their time in the spotlight they so much deserve.
And maybe you could also tell the people who are watching this for the first time what the final end result of what is.
Indeed. So MOA, or March of Armies, as we call it, is a yearly thing that we do, a yearly shared competition, a shared challenge to paint a small army, or as some people do, multiple armies or huge armies. And it is mostly about motivating ourselves together. And we submit a force that we deem possible for us to do in a certain amount of time. The first MOA was actually 6-ish months. Now we're going for 4 months. We started last December and ended this March 24. Hence the nice name March of Armies, where we then present all our painted crews, armies, kill teams, warcry warbands, what have you, or a lot of terrain as well. A little spoiler ahead. And today we're looking at the finishes of all the participants that send us their finished results. Partially finished, fully finished, doesn't matter really. We're happy to see painted plastic in the end, which is all what it's about. It's about making a dent in your pile of opportunity.
Yeah, I always believe that any progress is good progress. If you manage to slay some gray, as they like to say,
Indeed.
it's all good. Yeah, so the event ended on March 31st, which is the last Sunday at the time of this recording. And the final pictures have been trickling in all week, which has been amazing to watch. And I shall go and attempt to share my screen, and I feel like I'm getting faster at this every time I try and do it.
Little
So,
side note while Dennis is pulling up the pictures. It's also amazing that we often have people that can't really finish what they submitted in the beginning, which is no problem at all. But they keep putting time into it even after the deadline is over, which is great. People don't drop the projects. People keep painting their squads, their armies, which is just lovely to see that we can spark something in them that they continue even further, and we still congratulate them for that, of
yeah,
course.
super cool. So, just to fuck with everybody, I've put them in alphabetical order this time, so they're different than the order that they were posted on the Discord server. I tried to see if there was a random order button just to annoy everybody, but there wasn't. So we'll do it with this. So we're starting off with Almi, our fellow admin moderator, our favorite Australian, maybe. Yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah, painted these wonderful Eldari. I think these are Kebolite warriors, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
But
such an expert.
please don't add me if that is wrong. I'm not super versed in the lore of these folks. He went for lovely blue-white scheme. Not sure if it's actually one of the craft worlds or if it's a custom scheme, but definitely a lovely execution with the
My,
white and the blues.
my favorite part is that he decided to take March of Armies very literally, and he started in March.
That is true, yes. And for that, he made great
I'm
progress. Even
very impressed. Very impressed. I love the bases as well. The dark stone and
yeah.
the little cobblestone area, some grass, really works well together.
Yeah. The rule of thumb, 3 different textures on the base. Took that to heart.
Big fat
Really well
check
done.
mark. Okay, next up, Awesome Art Freak with all the Skaven, just all of them. I don't even know how she thought she was gonna do it, but that is those are a lot of troops, a lot of troops, and I think she can be very proud of everything she managed to paint.
Yeah, it's a great progress. I mean, with Horde armies, it's always a struggle with painting all the troops, and even more trouble if you go for such a high standard as she did, with uh, very varied bases with mushrooms. I think some of them are even hand sculpted and very different jungle bits. This picture, unfortunately, doesn't really do them justice how well they're painted. And yeah, it's still a very big dent. And she saved the fun stuff for later. I mean, there's the red ogres and the screaming bell, then the rattling gunners, the Giselles, and yeah, the big abomination. Wonderful, just lovely minis.
One day I hope to paint a Screaming Bell. Looks so awesome. Okay, next up, Clone Man John with his I'll just paint my own army in between all of my commissions. That dude is a beast. Yeah, just super speed, super quality. Uh, he manages to use the airbrush to his advantage on so many aspects.
Yeah, really cranked out those models,
Yeah,
and yeah, to a very lovely degree even. So it's just a very lovely army to look at. And even though there's the green scorpions, they still fit together with the rest, which is great. I mean, the bases help a lot with that, but the turquoise is just a really nice scheme. Really pops on the table.
we featured that guy in our Mini of the Month podcast as well, so go check that out if you haven't yet. Oh, hey, look, it's me. I'm not gonna talk about my own army. You talk
Yeah,
about my army.
yeah. Let me do it. Yeah, I think it's just a wonderful scheme with the icy bluish snowy scheme that you have going here, and yeah, it's really great. It's really contrasty and really poppy, and I guess these models must just be a lot of fun to paint. These new chaos models. From the Vanguard box, I believe it is, right? The new warriors, the big guy on the Drake, or what is it?
This
Just
is
wonderful.
actually the old Start Collecting box.
Ah, that's the old start collecting box.
The new one
I
has a
see. Yes.
chariot
Indeed,
for
that's the Vanguard. Yeah,
for
you're right.
reasons that I do not quite understand.
It,
But also the old Nurgle Lord and the old um, Marauder Horseman. So it was fun to switch up the new with the old.
yeah, very lovely work.
Oh yeah, Caradron Overlords by Gaz. Oh, he actually got a really cool badge because he is at he has a local games workshop, so he got the New Year New Army badge, which I'm totally not jealous of that. Really, I swear. But also Caradron Overlords. I love Caradron Overlords. I just painted Gruntstock Gunhauler myself. I finished it 2 days ago. Really happy with the end result. His is nicer, but I like my colors better. I went for green instead of purple, but if I would have gone purple, so good. But also, he has the medium chip and yeah, the 10 Arcanauts.
I think Arcanaut Company.
Yeah, and the 3 Balloon Boys. I don't know what anything's called.
Yeah, there's 2 different ones. I think these are Endrin Riggers and they're Sky Wardens, but they're just all of them are called Balloon Boys. So this is a more neat description, I feel.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I really love those models as well. The classic Baraknar scheme, the copper and violet, or Baraknar Burgundy, as it's, I believe, even a color from the range. Really well done. I mean, it's not easy to paint mostly metal miniatures in a way that they don't look boring, but he really figured it out how to mix it up, and they just look fantastic. And I can't wait to see when the bases are done as well. Really well done.
Yeah,
Really
I
would
thought
like
it
to fight
was.
this army.
I thought it was very complicated as well. I think I repainted the ship 4 times to figure out which bits had to
Yeah.
be which color to make it work. Yeah, well done. Great job. Beautiful army. And then we're on to Guy, and he joined last year, and then life happened, and he didn't really do a lot and finish a lot. So this year he decided to better his ways, and I think he did quite well.
Yeah, he did. Really lovely Nurgle force, and really brought out how disgusting they are, and still managed to have them, make them neat and poppy at the same time. Also with the purple sun of Aish or Shaish,
Yeah,
nice
that
endless
one
spell
is.
as well. The big purple thing really fits well. A little bit of a terrain piece as well. Yeah, and just love those hulky Nurgle dudes on the plague drones. Great, just great. Really tempted to start a Nurgle AOS army myself because the models are just so awesome.
And I believe you want to appease Papa Nurgle a little bit.
Yeah, indeed.
I love the contrast, especially on the Endless Spell. It's
Yeah.
just 10 out of 10. Beautiful work. Corey, Heresy Lithid. He started off, well, maybe actually go further back than that. Last year, he did an amazing army with the skinks. What are they called? Lizardmen. I don't know what the modern name is. I know nothing.
Seraphon.
Sure, let's go with that. And I mean, he just wowed everybody. So this year he first had a little false start, tried to paint something else, didn't enjoy it, traded it for this army, and oh man, he's been rocking it so hard. It's beautiful. The swamp theme turned up to 11. Those bases have water effects and mossy areas and wet rocks, and it's so good.
Yeah, it's just crazy to me. He's switched not halfway through, but part way through, and not even just painting for starting from scratch. He really started with some display level bases and really gave all the big guys some custom bases. Really put a lot of time into that, and he enjoyed himself obviously immensely, and it just turned out beautifully.
Yeah, four big guys, big display base. That's so impressive. And
Yeah,
the blue shields instead of the red shields
yeah, it's a
really work.
super nice decision. And yeah, even I think all the guys have bigger bases than they usually have, so even more ground to cover there. Give them more space to make some nice sculpting and basing.
Mm,
So all in all, just a beautiful army.
yeah, good job, Corey. Well done. Oh, Huskatron with his Skittles. I can almost taste the rainbow. Um, I had a lot of talks with Husk about the quality level of his painting and how he might want to compromise a little bit more than he was compromising. But I think he found a good balance in the end. Um, Many of the squigs are done, except for teeth here and there. I think that's very commendable with the display level that he's been painting at.
Yeah, I can totally feel that. For the very first March of Armies, I also painted one of my two armies. Was also a lot of squigs, and it's just so much fun. I can totally feel that he got lost and wanted to paint them as good as he can because these models are just so great. and they are so natural, and they really invite you to give them your best. So I can feel it. But yeah, it is indeed tricky to not burn out while doing it. So yeah, still a lot of stuff done, and some riders to do. But the important part is mostly done, which is the sprigs.
Yeah, and I honestly believe that he could probably enter this in most, normal games, contests, whatever, and actually have a good shot at winning best painted army.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, especially with having them all different colors. Many people just do them all red,
Yeah.
as did I, which is still great. But yeah, with these many different colors, it just works so well together because it's all the colors and it fits. It still fits. So well done.
Yeah, he was inspired by the rainbow.
Always, always. Ah, yeah.
On to Jahiro, which, she is so crazy. NMM on all of the models, and I was living for this army. So good contrast wise, so good color wise, with the blue to purple. So good on the NMM. Oh, oh.
Yeah, it's definitely not something you see every day in a challenge like that. To go all NMM and then to such a high level, it's just crazy to me that she pulled it off. But I talked to her in chat, and she apparently found a very efficient way to do it. And even said, yeah, with NMM, I only paint half of the model, so it's faster, which is a perspective I haven't heard before. But yeah, it's just so great, and it works so well. Also with the snowy theme, with the bluish bones. I think I also haven't seen that before, to be honest, and it works really well.
Gives a very cold theme, which is nice.
Yeah,
The free hand on the banner,
yeah, super good.
and on the shield here as well. Just
Some snowflakes, sparkly snowflakes. Yeah.
pretty damn impressive. John M.D.M. Now, his March of Armies was so big that he had a Google Drive document tracking his progress because he couldn't fit it into a post in the Discord, which mind blowing. And it shows, right? This is uh, a lot. It's a Stormcast army, it's a Tau army, and then it's all the terrain.
Yeah. I think it's the Dominion half of the Stormcasts. Then, yeah, Tau army full of suits. And then I believe this must be for the boarding actions into the dark terrain. So I think he could. I'm not sure if you're allowed to take suits to the boarding action. But yeah, with this force, he probably could. He has two armies, he has all the terrain. So he can just invite a buddy to play a round of boarding action.
And look at the quality, like the.
Yeah, there's a fade going on. Yeah,
Oh,
super good.
So sexy.
Super contrasty. I actually was surprised. I saw something similar in the video after he showed me he showed us the pictures, and I didn't think that such a relatively minimal approach to using terrain like this would work well on the table, but it just looks super good. So this will be a lot of fun to play with. Really well done, and yeah, chapeau for pulling this off.
I hope he one day uploads a picture of him playing with it, just so we
Yeah.
can see it in action. Josh. So, Josh decided that he wanted to paint 2 million models, which might have been a little bit much as a goal. So instead, he just ended up assembling 2 million models. This is not everything, because he had more models than fit on the table. But this is the picture I chose to include here. And that is a monstrous amount of gluing and snipping and cleaning.
Yeah, when I looked at it, I thought, yeah, this is a fair amount of work for March of Armies, assembling an army that big, and as you said, even if it's not all of it. So yeah, especially the big models, they take quite a lot of time to assemble, and then I don't know how many there must be, almost 100 dudes on the table, even more maybe.
Yeah, I think he
So
said something like 124
yeah,
models assembled.
especially with these orc boys, they're not super small and have a lot of parts. So
Yeah,
yeah, it takes a while.
yeah, real impressive. See if he paints them up for the next one. uh,
Casey,
KC, just a beautiful little Necron force, and I mean traditional colors, I guess, but it works. It works well. I love how the bases have the crackling effect going on and some OSL, which really helps sell it for me.
yeah, for sure. It's a classic one, but with a little bit of individual spin. And as you said, the base is just super good. Just reminds me of them. I don't know, crawling out of a dark cave after being awakened. Super scary. Yeah, love
Yeah,
these
I did
models.
Necrons for my first March of Armies
Yeah,
a
same.
long, long time ago.
Yeah, just
But
very fun models.
yeah, you can only build and paint so many warriors before going insane because they're all identical.
Yeah, and don't start on the assembly for some of them. It's horrible. Don't
It
assemble
was like
models. Don't do it.
it was like 2 weeks of assembly just for the warriors. Oh, I have
Yeah,
nightmares. Ah, on to Lancelot, who we also saw in the previous podcast with his super cute proxy figures for the Snotling Blood Bowl team. Just the cutest. And then he also painted a little Necromunda war gang of the new dwarves, space dwarves.
yeah. I really like how different they are. Like on the one side, there's like cute little caddies, and then there's metal space dwarfs. So it's a very nice contrast. But even then, they still work together on the table, so can work in the same universe. But yeah, it's just super cute, and also I really love the grass basing that he did.
Mm,
Looks super lush. I can really imagine him running across the field.
yeah, super cool. Super cool. Lasse, he decided to go to America midway his March of Armies for 2 weeks. So, uh, you know, the goalpost was moved a little bit once he came back, but I still think he did a really good job. Um, extra models painted. Those two trucks. I love the windows and all the little decals that he put on there. It's just so cool that he added all of that stuff in.
Yeah.
Um, and the troops are amazing as well.
I think many people don't know how small these models actually are.
Oh
So
yeah, they're
it's not easy
15
to pull that
millimeter.
off. Yeah, they're super small, and he still manages to give them so much detail and so much pop, even though they're so small, which is not easy. So
They
very well
are
done.
so small. Uh, oh god, how am I going to pronounce this? Lug,
Let's go with Luke.
Lug.
Sounds fair.
Set out to do some orcs, and I think they did those orcs perfectly.
Yeah,
I mean, good orcs, good bases.
definitely some old timer boar boys, I believe. Really cool. I think I have not seen these models before because I believe they're really old, but it looks super good. Also with a nice basing in this relatively grimdark scheme, but
They're about
still
my age.
probably, yeah.
These were around when I started playing Warhammer back in 2000.
Yeah, super well done.
Yeah, great job. Nice little warband. Oh
Here
God.
we go.
This is so from the nice little warband we go to I will paint everything and the kitchen sink. I mean, he is so skilled. He is so fast. He is very smart with his time. And these are some of the coolest um, spooky boys that I've seen. And the NMM on them is just fabulous. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, it's just super poppy and contrasty. Also very unique. So there's definitely his own style in there, and it just looks so good. I mean, look at the armor piece of that dude in the middle next to the bell hammer thing. I really love that. It just looks so good. Um, and also the green ghastly effect of these Nighthaunt. It's just super well done. I mean, you cannot say anything about that. And to imagine painting this force, this big, this fast, it's just crazy to me.
I'm gonna make it worse.
Yeah, there's more. But wait, there's more.
So then he decided that, oh, apparently March of Armies doesn't end March 1st, so that means I have a whole month to paint another army.
Yeah, why not? I mean, he's not wrong.
I don't know.
But then also to this insane degree. I mean, thank God for all of us. He didn't do it NMM, but the TMM here is still amazingly done. And the contrast with these awesome desert bases and the free hands on the banners and the nice orc skin, just baffling. It's just baffling how he pulled that off.
This model, I remember the release of that when I was started playing Warhammer, and kind of it's always been a point of nostalgia for me. And he's standing on two Empire shields with this, which just was amazing back in the day.
So much storytelling.
There were also some squigs, but some spider riders, but for some reason they're not in this picture. So my bad. Sorry, Lucas.
Yeah,
Don't kill me.
just to mention, there's super colorful unit of spider riders in all the colors as well, and they also look super amazing. Quite contrasty to these relatively dark black orcs. Just must look amazing on the table.
Was he called Grimgore Ironhide?
That's definitely a character from the old world. Maybe that's him. The OG.
Let me know in the comments if my memory is half decent or not. Okay, we're
Ooh.
going on to Maisie. Maisie. He decided that buying an army was not good enough. So instead, he bought 2.5, 3 armies and turned them into one army because that is the way you spend a lot of money.
Yeah,
So
James
this
Workshop is laughing in his sleep.
This is Cities of Sigmar combined with a lot of skeletons.
Yeah, I think it's actually Soulbright Gravelords, some Cursed City bits, and it's just, and then there's a lot of sculpting as you can see here on the winged beast. Like the second wing is mostly sculpted to be just flesh and bone.
Yeah,
which is super amazing. And I mean,
my
obviously, there was going so much time into that, so it's totally understandable. He didn't finish it all.
My favorite. You can't. I need
Yeah,
to
that's
zoom in
amazing.
further, but these dudes are usually carrying this throne, but instead he stuck all the carrying stakes through their bodies. And
So
it
creative.
cracks me up every time I see it. I love it
It's
so
just,
much.
it's just so simple and so creative. Yeah, really super well done.
Yeah, and he actually
Yeah,
got quite a lot painted as well
that's
because
true.
he got
All the knights.
3 whole units painted and converting everything. I mean,
Yeah, just amazing.
Insane. Oh, hey, it's you.
Yeah, that's me.
I still think you did a great job with a house move in the middle. I remember doing that last year, and that takes up so much energy, time, uh, hobby budget. Uh, I remember packing away my models and going, well, that happened 2 weeks before I actually had to move, and then unpacking them a month after I moved, going, guess that cost me 6 weeks instead of two. Uh-oh. So I think you did really good quantity wise, but also quality wise. Your paint jobs are on point, dude.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, it was definitely not planned. I mean, it's not a big force, but still, these models are super detailed, and it's just a shame to not uh, give them the love they deserve. So yeah, I went quite far with the detail work to make them really pop.
Yeah, these
Yeah,
big
it's
big ladies are very impressive.
yeah, the war suits are fun, and I also think I not lost but invested a lot of time in those scenic flying bases because I hate those transparent flying stands that you supposed to
Oh,
use. So they're all standing on basically some rubble or terrain, and that was quite a lot of work
wow.
to make that happen and to glue them to it. But it's worth it. It will look good in the end, I think.
That is amazing. Those are the fun little details, right? I
Yeah,
as a like a noob with the faction, I wouldn't notice that. But if you field that army and somebody's been playing a lot, they'll go like, "Wait a minute, that's really freaking awesome!"
yeah.
Very cool. We're
Ah, yeah,
on
these are good.
to Michi, who also had a not quite a move, but had to get his house ready for sale. So he also decided to do a little bit of a smaller group. He finished two of its Leagues of Voton vehicles and then his custom Space Marine chapter with no, not custom sharks, something something sharks. I forget.
I'm really not that well versed with Space Marine chapters. Is there some chapter that is called Sharks? Maybe
He told
there's.
me what it was, but I don't have that good of a memory apparently. I love his tank. That is just so cool how he managed to get the black with all the edge highlights. I'm a big fan of it. Um, I also think all of the normal models are insane. The black armor is so good and it contrasts so well with the blue and the red. And then the amount of pigments he used on all of the bases to really make them part of the terrain, crazy. And the
Yeah.
weathering on the photon is the same, like all of the paint chipping and just wow, so good.
Yeah, black armor is actually really hard to make look good and to not it being just black with some highlights. So there goes a lot into it to really make it look like this. And it's just really well executed. And I agree, the tank is looking stunning with the chipping and edge highlights and really making the also with the decals. I think having the decals look really part of the tank and having it look used and not just tacked on freshly goes so much in terms of it being part of the tank and not just being something stuck on it freshly. So really well done here as well. It's a nice detail that does a lot for you.
That tank is actually on my top 10 I want to paint list at the moment. So maybe one day I'll buy one and paint it up. But mine will be green. Okay, we're on to Monster Painter with another Orc Force.
Yeah, really nice. Those new ball riders, and I really love the war paint he went for all of them. Lots of freehand on the faces,
Oh,
and even that
wow.
is just not white. It's also there's some shading in there and some highlights. And yeah, also you see on the pauldron also more freehands.
Oh,
Really cool and really poppy.
oh,
Yeah, it is just so
oh,
nice to
shit.
look at. Yeah,
That's amazing. I hadn't noticed that before.
yeah.
That is
Also, the
really, really cool.
green skin is another thing that for me at least took a while to figure out, and it looks super good. It's just so poppy and looks so warm, not just like some green stuff, but really warm green skin.
The
Really well
color
done.
variation in the base also makes the sand feel like it's real, or
Yeah, just not one flat color. Yeah, agreed.
and it works. The red and the green just really pleased my eyes.
Yeah,
Very
it's just a
cool.
great composition.
Okay, we're on to Muscafardo, and actually, I'm gonna cheat and do this one first. So he started off with a really cool Britannia army, and then I think he lost a little bit of motivation in the middle. But I still think this is would be more than enough for March of Armies. But he said no, no, it's not. I need to do better. I need to do more. I am going to start a bolt action force. So then he tagged this onto his March of Armies. Um, so I think absolute fantastic effort on both of those armies.
Yeah, indeed. And again, these dudes are super small, and that he gave them some camouflage patterns, like those dudes a little bit to the left. Super well done on these tiny men. Not easy to pull off that nice.
Oh yeah, very cool. I like the grass as well. Really makes it feel like
Yeah. So one day I
they're
will
in the
figure out to
environment.
make good grass.
Tell
Usually
us your
just use.
secrets, Musco. Tell it. Tell us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
also that Britonia force is just super nice. Also, these models are super detailed, and so you can just spend hours on one model. And he made so much progress. Looks so good.
yeah,
I mean, I really love these formation group bases, like the wedge formation here. That is an
mm,
actual base. So good.
yeah, very cool. On to Nebulous and their orcs.
Yeah, this time
I
space
mean,
orcs.
space orcs, great colors. Love the reds and the greens again. It's so good when it doesn't feel like Christmas, but it also sort of does because I get to see fantastic models. Uh, Classic yellow, red, green. Um, really good, vibrant, color shifting, great highlights. Yeah,
Yeah, agreed. And as you said, sometimes it looks a bit weird if you have this red, yellow, green, but it doesn't look like Christmas at all. It just looks scary if this orc boy horde comes at you. Oh my, it's over. Really, really looking forward to see what the bases actually will be, because I also think this can do a lot for them as well.
yeah,
But
for
also
sure.
this big tank, man, this is just
I'm
insane.
freaking excited for that. Like, I really am. That
I'm not
looks
even
like it's
sure if is this isn't this mostly bashed even. I think this is not an original tank. I mean, not original by GW. I believe this is a little bit of kit bash in there at least.
that could definitely be. I
Yeah.
know that the roller with a big vehicle behind it is called the Battle Wagon, but I don't know if there was more customization added on top of that.
In any
Could
way,
not tell you.
definitely well done.
We clearly are not experts. Yeah, I love it. Please share more of this, Nebulous. Raspy Turnip. They had a bit of bad luck going on in real life, but I still think they deserve a big mention on here for managing to push out this force. I really love the grimdark reds that are going on all of the Marines.
Yeah, very nice Blood Angel force here. And also there's so much details on these models. And then there's big panels, so you can really get lost in the details or get stuck with the big panels. But sometimes the simple grimdark scheme goes a long way for you, and it's just executed beautifully here. Really poppy, but also grimy and dark.
Yeah, also some weathering with the
Yeah,
silver scars, and yeah, very cool. Shanukor worked on a bunch of NIDs, and the plan was to work on a whole bunch of NIDs, but also again life got in the way. So this was the NIDs, and I still really like the color scheme. I think it's a good job. So definitely part of the finishers.
yeah, indeed. These units are so cool, and again, super detailed. And there's so many models here to see, and so he doesn't need to be sad that he didn't finish it all. There's so many models done here, which is great. And again, with these troops, it just takes a while, and it's just well done.
Yeah, for sure. On to Spexador, who finished the core box of that Kickstarter that everybody's talking about, and very, very nicely done with oils. Very grimdark. So I thought that was super cool.
Yep, it's super grimdark, and these green pops from the plasma weapons and some accents is just super cool looking. And yeah, a lot of models. This is a super big force for these models being so detailed. And I know he found a very efficient way to handle them, but still, uh, it just looks so good. Really
I'm
great
excited
force.
to see what kind of vehicles he's gonna put, or large monsters he's gonna put with this force to really make it come together. I think that's the one of the things I really liked about Heresy Lith's force, and maybe even like the 2, 3 back, the Nebulous one with the vehicles in the back or the big monsters in the back and the troops in the front really sells the feeling of an army.
Yeah, indeed. The big
Ah,
guy.
our Lord and Savior Squidward. We're not a cult, I swear. Uh, he also partook in March of Armies, and he managed to finish a bunch of Hero Quest models. And I mean, I don't really know what to say about paint jobs like these.
Yeah, it's quite
Amazing.
embarrassing, I think, that he was brave enough to show these models. Now, all jokes
I
aside, it's just an amazing work.
I hope
Super
to
well
one
done.
day understand how to paint bases like this
Yeah.
that work. I
If
don't
you
can't
don't
even.
know, these are just flat bases, and he just freehands those cobblestones on them, which is
I
quite
can't.
insane.
I can't even.
Yeah,
Yeah, and for these older models that you know aren't high grade plastic as we're used to, I think it's extra impressive the amount of detail he's managed to push into them.
yeah. You need to make the decisions for yourself where the details are if they're not sculpted, and it's just so poppy. Looks so good.
Yeah, look at that axe back there.
Yeah,
So good. Yeah, amazing. Wolfie did a squad of Chaos Space Jump Marines. I don't know what they're called.
I'm not sure if these actually original models, but I think in 40k these would be Raptors, Chaos Space Marine Raptors with these jet packs. Very scary models, if I remember correctly, especially up close. They put out the hurting. with these
They look like they
chain swords
would
and
hurt.
plasma pistols. And it's a beautiful violet scheme here. Looks super good.
Yeah, great job, and everything that's painted is painted. So I think even if you don't finish your entire March of Armies, every squad that you do finish is just good work. And then Xian Rika painted a whole bunch of. Oh god, I'm tired. I had 6 hours of meetings today. My brain can't brain.
I think these are
Seraphon?
no, these are actually, I believe, the 3D printable models that you get for one page rules for the Grimdark Future version, and these are basically future lizard men. Yeah, these are super cool. This actually, if you don't know one page rule, check them out. Super cool. And this is the Grimdark Future version of that. They also have a fantasy version. And this is one of the factions, and these are basically space lizards with rocket launchers on the back for the big guys, and the lizard in the top has like rockets for spikes. It's like super creative models, and the paint job is super well done, super poppy.
Lizards in
In
space.
space, indeed.
Amazing. Thanks for correcting me there. And then we have Extreme with another really cool black armored Black Templar in this case, and not Sharks army. And
Yeah, I mean it's classic but super well executed. And then these Felgo Ravager kill team, space
named,
beastmen. Yeah,
so
with like
cool.
with 3D printed nameplates, super cool. Yeah,
Yeah, but look at the quality of those tabards.
yeah, just
And
super well done. And
the
those
shields. Oh.
freehand and decal work, super well done.
Do these come with tabards? Or were they sculpted?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I believe these Black Templar models, they come with tabards. Yes, but I'm not sure.
Well, because Lucas has been fixing
Yeah,
everything that was wrong with Black Templars, and he's been sculpting a lot of
but I
tabards.
believe he didn't use the Black Templar models. He used regular Space Marine models that he adjusted to his liking.
Space Marine.
And then there's some mystery model on the back when I was looking at the picture. Like this dude with the knives in the back. We need to ask them what this actually is. I couldn't figure it out.
Extreme. Let us know what that is. We're curious.
Looks very good.
The flatness, or the not the flatness, the mattness, the of all the black, I also think is really cool. Just on the vehicles,
Yeah.
they really feel like they are panels, if that makes sense.
No, I agree. Makes them look used and dusty and actually hard, not like shiny plastic.
Yeah, very cool. And that's the end. And I think we had like 28-ish finishers, which is amazing.
Yeah, and all the entries were super good, and it was just great to see and be along with all of them on the ride and to motivate each other. So it was a great experience. It was a lot of fun.
Is there well, first of all, thank you to everybody who participated, because I had a blast. 4 months is a long time. Bi-weekly check-ins. Everybody was having fun. I messed up some of the one of the check-ins that I forgot which week we were doing, and I rather enjoyed the amount of abuse I got for that. It was very enjoyable. uh, I loved how many people were, motivating each other, egging each other on, helping each other with all their concerns, questions, motivation. All of that was great to see, very enjoyable. So thank you all for participating. Thank you all for liking and commenting on other people's posts. Thank you all for checking in and painting all of these awesome things.
Yeah, same from my side again. Thanks for being part of it, and thanks for the fun. It was just great. It's just great to see that it has become such a big staple of the server at this point, that everybody's looking forward to it. Some people are already talking about what they might paint for the next March of Armies, which is just great to see for me, and it's just so much fun. How much enjoyment it brings to everyone.
Mm. And I gotta say, these wrap up channels, because so for everybody who wants to see close ups of the images, we have a March of Armies finishers channel on the Discord that has high quality, one high quality picture of every entry. And then if you do some search foo in the main channel, you should be able to find all of the final entry pictures. So if you want to see them up close, you can do that. But you touched on a point that I would like to touch on as well, which is March of Armies 2025. Are you down to March?
I mean, if life is not throwing something at me always, I made a pause for a while. But I think, yeah, I mean, it is always a great thing. And it doesn't need to be an army. It can also be multiple war bands or something like that, or just a whole bunch of terrain is also cool. I mean, whatever makes you paint some plastic is great. And yeah, I mean, the experience is always great. So I will say yes, I'm down.
Do you have any sort of feelings? What might interest you?
I mean, I feel I've moved away from army painting. I mean, I definitely want to finish the sisters that I still have. I mean, that you saw in blue, and then there's a tank or two that are still unpacked, unbuilt. So that's something I want to finish. But then I think I will go back to where I started to paint more war bands and probably focusing on Warcry and Kill Team going forward, which is what currently excites me the most, also gaming wise. I
But
think it's a
doing
nice sweet spot.
doing a Warcry band or a kill team, two kill teams, or Underworld's band a month is also can also be quite satisfying. So
Indeed, I mean, mostly the kill teams or Warcry bands are 10 models, so doing two or three, it's a perfect amount.
yeah, I agree. I really enjoyed doing a start collecting box this year. It felt like I had the right idea with doing one unit a month. Um, so that really felt good for me. So I'm been playing around with some ideas in my brain. I was thinking maybe I'll do the Grey Water Fastness start collecting box, but I don't know if I'll manage to stop myself from painting those sooner. So I'm not entirely sure about that. I could also do the Caradron Overlords start collecting box. And then I remembered I also have a Tau start collecting box. So I don't know. It's all up in the
Lots
air.
of
Anything's
choices.
possible for me.
I mean, you can also use the server to vote for you. People have done it in the past.
Oh,
Put up some choices, and people make a vote. And then
I
even if you don't
think
like the vote, you know what you then like in the end.
I think the 40k a 40k one might be on the cards for me because I did 40k for my first March, and then the last three marches have been fantasy or Age of Sigmar. Uh, so I think maybe a Tau one is in order.
Yeah. Another idea that creeps in the back of my head for a while is I have a quite big Disciples of Zinj army, and I had the idea to also paint that Vanguard box or start collecting box from Slaves to Darkness. Just have those Chaos Warriors converted to Zinj Chaos Warriors, that sort of thing. But yeah, the bigger project for sure. Let's see.
Mm. Oh, I'm hearing all good ideas. Okay, let's see. In November, we start again. No, December 1st.
Yep.
So we'll probably record the first podcast somewhere in that area or a little bit before. Do a little look back. See who wants to be my +1 at that point. So I'm excited for that. But for now, that's it. It's a wrap. Thanks everybody for joining. Martin, thank you for being my co-host today.
Thanks for having me. It was
You
great
were
fun to look at those pictures together.
you were much better prepared than me. So well done. Props to you.
Thank you. And yeah, thanks for everyone tuning in. And let us know if you like this sort of format. And yeah, for the next one, we definitely do another one in one way or the other. And yeah, thanks again to you, Dennis, for being the ceremonial master for this year's March of Armies and whipping everybody for their bi-weekly reports. Thanks for doing that. Thanks for organizing. It was great fun. And yeah, again, as you see, as we just looked at the pictures, was a great success.
I mean, all of those pictures are the reward, right? I mean, gosh, I'd do any kind of work to get all of those cool pictures after a couple months. Thanks, everybody. See you on a Meaning of the Month podcast at some point in the near future. And bye.
See you soon.